Tuning in with Profe Gayu. I'm going live again today, and I'm going to make this a habit of going live pretty much every day, though some days I may skip. Every day around this time, around between like 4:30 and about 5:30. Make sure I go live for a while. Usually around this time, I'm done working for the day, and I am just sort of relaxing before I go out and do my daily exercises. Daily exercises. So yep, I'm gonna make this a habit, and here I am. So today I wanted to talk about a few things. Right now I'm bringing up the chat here, that way if any of you want to engage with me, I want to make sure I can actually see the chat. It's easier when I pull everything up on my other phone. But yeah, like I said, I want to talk about Semana Santa, because right now April is almost here. It'll be April next week. It'll be April, and that starts the vacation season. So with the vacation season, that means basically that a lot of folks, not only within DR, are moving around taking vacations. They're going to the beaches. They're visiting their family in the Campo. So a lot of folks, they live in like Santiago or Santo Domingo. They go out to the Campo or some of the smaller towns where they'll go and visit family for a while. A lot of folks that live out of the country. Most Dominicans live in the U.S. They live out of the country, so they'll come to the back to the Dominican Republic with their families. You'll see a lot of frequent trips to the beach, to the river. One river recreational area that's very, very popular here is La Fula. La Fula is just north of Santo Domingo, going towards Bonao. I think I'm not sure if it's before Bonao, coming from Santo Domingo, or after Bonao, before you get to La Vega. But it's somewhere in that region. I've been there a couple of times already. It's a nice spot. Basically, it's a running river where you can actually go in. They have like pools within the running river where you can actually go in and sort of like swim in that particular pool before the water dips down again. They also have internet restaurants that will be set up to where you can actually sit in the water with your table, all the chairs, and sit in the water. Sit when you're actually in the chair, like I'm in the chair right now, but you're in the water. And they'll serve you food, drinks, and basically just hang out with the fam, take a swim. The water is fresh, it's cool. The air is usually a little cooler, not as warm as it is on the coast, like here in Santo Domingo, or whether you're in the coast on towards Punta Cana on the south coast where you have Bani, or the north coast where you have Puerto Plata. It's usually much cooler in the interior of the country. So folks come out and they do a lot of traveling. You'll find that prices, like for hotels and resorts, they'll all get booked. They'll be mostly booked, and the prices will skyrocket. So I take this as, for those of you from the United States, if you are familiar with spring break, you know how spring break, a lot of folks go to the beach. They go to Florida. Maybe they'll go to South Carolina, beaches in Virginia on the East Coast, or Maryland, or New Jersey. I don't know where they go on the West Coast or anywhere else. But yeah, it's the same as there, where they'll jack the prices up. Or you go like 4th of July weekend, and they'll jack the prices up, and everything we book, everyone's on the beach or in a hotel, or some sort of like resort or area that's fun. That's exactly what it is here in Dominican Republic. So a lot of movement. You'll find that traffic patterns will change. Police will be more present and all that. But it's a nice time to get out and enjoy what the country has to offer. So Semana Santa actually is between April 10th and like April and that Sunday, which is like April 16th. So that's Semana Santa. So even though you'll find like a lot of folks that they don't really work or there's not a lot going on during that time as far as business is concerned, you'll still find that prices will be much more expensive for the hotels and things of that nature. Weeks prior to Semana Santa and weeks after Semana Santa. So for those of you who are in the U.S. or other countries, you are planning a trip to come to DR. It's definitely a good time to be in DR. However, expect prices to be more expensive, especially now when we're dealing with the gasoline, the skyrocketed prices in gasoline. So that's Semana Santa. For those of you familiar with the Catholic religion, you'll have a better idea of how Semana Santa runs in Catholic-dominated countries such as the Dominican Republic. But that is what goes on here. Hot spots for during Semana Santa or during this season. Like I said, La Fula. A lot of folks go to La Fula. In the Santo Domingo area, a lot of folks go to Boca Chica. Boca Chica is definitely a hot spot in the Santo Domingo area. That's always a hot spot. I mean, basically, every Sunday that's a hot spot, but especially during Semana Santa. Let's see, the Campos are you'll find like a lot more movement in the different Campo areas. I would think places like Punta Cana, La Romana are really seeing a lot more activity. Puerto Plata, for those folks who are on the North Coast, they usually do a concert in Casa de Campo with a lot of popular Dominican artists. So yeah, that's basically it for this time frame. One thing I do want to talk about is Dominican households and the way religion is. How can I explain this? Religion is of course practiced differently in every household. For those who are not familiar with Dominican households or households, Caribbean households, what you will find is surprising is that altars in the Dominican home is very common. So it's very common to find an altar in the Dominican home because in the Dominican home, though it's especially in DR, it's people. It's a predominantly Catholic country, predominantly Catholic country. However, a lot of folks don't consider themselves Catholics. They may consider themselves Christian or not really religious at all, but they still somewhat follow a lot of the Catholic customs. And what you'll find in the Dominican home is an altar. Now, the altar, I can't really explain it from the Dominican perspective because I didn't grow up in a home that had that. But from the outside looking in, knowing what I know about, 21 divisions, and knowing what I know about the African influence religions in the Americas, you'll find the Dominican altar to be sort of a a representation of 21 divisions, but it's done, but it's secretive. So people don't openly share that Dominican altar. It's usually in a closet someplace or someplace behind a closed door. And what it consists of is they'll call him a saint, right? They'll have a saint. Usually it's the saint of the person of that household who runs the household, whoever the saint is. And I think for those of you who may be a little confused, I would switch over to the African influenced religions in the Americas, such as that deal with the Orishas, which rooted from the Yoruban traditions. And for example, you'll have a Orisha within that Yoruban sector, and they will be represented as a saint, as a Catholic saint. For example, you may have someone that has a saint of Saint Miguel, and where they get that Saint Miguel saint, I guess, doctrinated with them is when they are doctrinated into the 21 divisions of one of the Yoruban influenced traditions in the Americas. They are given an Orisha. That's when you basically go through the initiation into that sector, I should say. And they're given a Orisha, or in 21 divisions. More often I see less of the Orisha, more so of the actual saint, the Catholic saint. Now, if I'm losing some of you guys, like, just bear with me. So basically, back during slavery in the Americas, specifically outside of the U.S., because this is more so in the Caribbean and South America. The slave owners, the masters, they push their religion. So they push their Catholicism. They push their Protestant religion upon the slaves. Now, those enslaved Africans, they still carried on with their traditional beliefs and belief systems that they brought over from Africa. So, and the Yoruban traditions are rooted in Santeria. They are rooted in Candomblé. They are rooted in 21 divisions. They are rooted in voodoo. They are rooted in some of the other ones that I'm not mentioning that exist in other parts of the Caribbean and Latin America. And what often happened was those enslaved Africans, they would not display those African orishas, or they would not display those guardian angels. That's what they were called. And those, and instead, they would use Catholic saints, because the Catholic saints had sort of the same purpose within the Catholic tradition. So through those years, you'll have something that I would say you'll have those conversions. So instead of presenting Ogun, for example, they would show San Miguel, and then they look at San Miguel and they say, okay, they're doing those enslaved Africans are doing the Catholic thing. They're not doing that, Yoruban thing, or they're not doing that African thing. So throughout the many different communities in the Caribbean and through the Americas, you saw that, and that's where you developed to where you have now. So in the Dominican home, where you have the saint, now over the years, I think that some Dominicans they all practice this differently in different homes. So some may look at, they just see the saint and not really make the connection to the Orisha, but it has the same meaning, which is basically they go through the initiation process, usually when they're younger, and they will be given a saint by a priest, a high priest. The high priest is given that saint, and basically that'll be their saint. And usually, what they would do, was go throughout their lives, they would, sort of wear articles and make offers to the saint. And as they get older, they start to develop their own altar, and they will maintain that altar for that saint. And what that altar looks like is they'll basically have a picture, maybe some statues or some sort of like ornaments of that saint, and they will offer the things that saint likes. So for some of you who are familiar with some of the other Yoruban influenced traditions in the Caribbean, Latin America, where you'll have a Orisha, and that Orisha would have a favorite number, favorite color, favorite perfume, favorite food, favorite drink, and all this stuff. It's the same as a saint. Same with the saints portrayed in the 21 divisions, where you will offer that, drink that saint likes, that perfume that saint likes, that food that saint likes. So every so often, you will change that out. Give them coffee, beer, soda, whatever the case is, and that is a tradition that has been carried on in many Dominican households. Now, this is kept on a hush hush because you know that a lot of Dominicans don't like to be public about that part of their home and that part of themselves, because that is considered taboo by the masses, or someone who was very unfamiliar with those African influenced religions will look at that as witchcraft, and just really look negatively upon it. Even those who actually follow those traditions, in varying degrees, would also look at that as witchcraft. Well, I'm not really into it that much because that's crazy, but I do that. For example, now, and this is all connected to one of the videos that I had out there that's titled Fiesta de Palo. Now, with that video, you'll find, now I edited that video to where you will not see a lot of things that you really shouldn't show on video, but you'll find that people I have to do a whole other video on all the connections with 21 divisions and the Apollo and all that. I have to do that in another video because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. But basically, I wanted to sort of continue this talk about religion. This is Semana Santa's coming up, about religion, about altars in the Dominican household, and what all that entails. So yeah. What else? What else I want to talk about? Let's see. I got anyone out there? No, there's no one out there. All right. I changed the view around because I feel like this is an opportunity for those who are looking at, instead of me having the wall as a background, you can actually see what I see in the background. And here's the balcony, basically overlooking an area of Santo Domingo Norte. It's pretty. It was pretty warm today as the temperature's going up during this part of the year. But sun is going down, and pretty soon I'm going to go out and do some exercises, go to the gym, and take care of me. Let's see. One other thing I wanted to talk about was basically establishing a routine here, and how in the U.S. where everything is just so busy, you gotta get in your car. You wake up in the morning, you get ready for work, get in your car, you're fighting traffic. You get to work, you're there, you come back home, you're fighting traffic. I mean, I can tell you, very recently, before moving out here full time, I would drive about an hour and some change to work in the morning, through traffic, and drive home about 2 hours. Take 2 hours to get home through the traffic, and that's just insane. Just imagine that, doing that for years and years. But here now, I'm working in the comforts of my own home, and I don't have that same expense for gas, the same expense for car maintenance, and look, I can get on here, get on live and talk a little bit, and then start my routine by going to the gym, exercising a little bit, and come home, eat some food, relax, and get ready for the next day. So you have a lot more time to just relax and reflect and enjoy life. Where, prior to this, I mean, it was a lot more busy, and there was less time for all that. So yeah, establishing a routine over here is very important, because the difference of being here full time and being here part time, whether it's just for a weekend or it's just for a few days just to blow off some steam and get away from the hectic life, in the U.S. The difference is, when you're coming over here just for a few days or for a week, you're enjoying yourself. So you don't mind, dropping, large sums of money, every day, and then boom, 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 you spend a whole lot of money, and then you're going back home, and then you're saving up to do it all again on your next trip. But when you're here full time, especially for me, coming here part time for so long and being here full time, it did take some getting used to. It did take some adjusting to be able to just, all right, look, you're not here temporarily. You're not here just for a few days. You're here for a while. So you don't need to treat every day like you're on vacation. And it took a while to adjust to that, but I definitely have adjusted and smooth sailing moving forward. There's definitely a lot of time that I take to just reflect and enjoy the simple peacefulness, but at the same time, have a lot of fun with the fam, and we do a lot of things together as well. So definitely moving out here, have a schedule, have a routine, and it may take a while for you to establish that, but definitely make it happen when you move out here. Another thing. Developing relationships. Look, I can tell you personally, it's difficult for me to trust people. I find it very difficult because, just even being in the States, not just me being here in the Dominican Republic, finding it difficult to trust people because, you always feel like someone has an angle, someone has a hidden agenda. But one thing I have learned is being out here, you know, you give people a chance, and you will see the genuineness in them. And what helped me arrive to that conclusion is just being here relaxing, being here just not being sort of in that stressful environment, being able to sit back, relax, and just like take time and that's definitely helped me see that more so in people than I had before. I think another thing for me being out here is I've actually had time to do other things. I know that in the States, I always had a list of things that I wanted to work on, list of projects outside of, going to work or any other work-related stuff I would do or being with the fam. Now I actually have the time to work on those side projects because I'm not fighting traffic to get back home, because I don't have the expenses that you will have in the States. I don't feel the need to work that second job or feel the need to constantly look for ways to earn more and more and more money so I can pay for this and pay for that. But here, where the cost of living is much cheaper, and then once you establish yourself and you let go of those stresses to feel like you got to work, you're able to just relax. I mean, the culture here is a culture of taking it easy. I mean, not saying that Dominicans don't work, because Dominicans work. They actually work more, on average, work more than they do in the U.S. Where the U.S. you have a 40-hour work week. Dominican Republic, they have a 44-hour work week. They work Monday through Saturday, and Saturday is usually a half day. So just imagine that. They work more, but they have a better attitude of taking the time out to enjoy with family and friends and taking it easy. Some Dominicans, especially when it comes to driving, are impatient. But generally, things can wait for tomorrow, and that's sort of a key characteristic of the Dominican culture. Yeah, most definitely. What else? What else? I mean, that's it. I don't have any questions. No one's talking. All right. No one has any questions out there. No one has anything, any comments. Nadie tiene comentario. Una pregunta. I guess not. I think one thing I will do is maybe I won't do live videos when I'm moving around so much, but I'll definitely do videos of just showing like normal places. Like I'll go to a mall. I want to go to a mall and just show folks out there who are unfamiliar with what a mall looks like outside the U.S. or what a mall would look like in the Dominican Republic. Just show them the mall and show them the sort of the similarities of what you'll find in the U.S., but also some of the differences what you find here in the Dominican Republic. Also, I want to go to some markets and do the same thing. So I'll definitely do that more, because I think that a lot of you folks out there who've never been here before or never been outside of the country, you'll be able to see what those type of places look like over here. So when I refer to something and you can't really imagine it, if I have some video, and be able to put things into perspective. But But let's say I'm at 30 minutes. No comments. So I'm definitely going to sign off right now. But hey, thank you all for tuning in to my channel. Please subscribe and like. That definitely helps me out. Comment on whatever. That also helps me out. And take care. Peace.